Hey everyone, Cahlen here, and I got a question on my last video from a longtime viewer of mine, and the question was essentially, because I speak a lot about natural law and I define it, I summarize it very briefly and say, you're allowed to do whatever you want as long as you don't harm anyone, and that's basically the fundamental moral law of the universe. Now this person asks is like, well, don't you think something like devotion to someone else and sacrificing yourself or like the wife you love and the children you love, like sacrificing the physical health of your own body and maybe even your own safety to protect them, don't you think that's more important than going for what you want? And it's a little bit concerning to me that it's even possible to misinterpret me in this way, to basically this person saying, basically you're basically advocating, saying that I'm advocating hedonism, which is pleasure seeking, by saying that you can do whatever you want, right? To me, it's extremely clear that I'm not limiting anything to pleasure seeking. Pleasure seeking is a tiny percentage of the possible things that someone could want. If you make the choice to devote yourself to a woman and her offspring to your own physical detriment, that is what you want. That's why you chose it. You chose it because it is what you want, and you're free to do that. And there's all kinds of things that people do in this world which we wouldn't categorize as something good or pleasurable, but they do because they want to. So anyways, I thought that was important to make it clear, and also I wanted to speak a bit about the devotion thing. It's like, yes, I do think it's important to be devoted to something that matters. And like, for example, I am devoted to truth and to freedom and to basically well-being or joy or health. I don't know how to summarize all of that into one word. Maybe joy. Maybe just one of them would be fine. But basically, those are the things that I am devoted to. And the choices that I make in my life from a conventional mindset are extremely detrimental to me because these choices are about being devoted to these things. So I'm not saying you shouldn't be devoted to things. I think it is good to be devoted to things. And they were saying basically that you're belittling people who are devoted to the Abrahamic God. Well, but isn't it good to be devoted to something? Well, it's good to be devoted to something which is good. It's not just devotion is good always. You can be devoted to horrible, horrible things, right? So devotion, it's not whether or not devotion is good, it's what you're devoted to. So if you're devoted to a group of alien beings who have enslaved humanity and tricked them into believing that they are God and created religions all about them being God so that they can come back and easily take over again when they're ready, if you're devoted to that group of people because you think that that's God, well, that's not good. That's not a good thing. Okay? If you're devoted to the actual God, the actual creator, the actual source of everything, including yourself in this universe, which is kind of half of what the Christian God is about, right? They got mixed. Basically, Christianity is the invasion of the original mindset of humanity. The original understanding of spirituality, which was correct. Basically, a merging of those two things in order to corrupt them. Basically, and this is how Rome was taken down. That was basically the entire purpose of Christianity, was to take down Rome, and it worked. It took a long time, but it worked. So anyways, just a quick video. Wanting doesn't mean pleasure, it just means what you want. Some people want to get beat up. Some people want to go and fight in a ring, right? I don't see that as something that's pleasurable, right? And then there's nothing wrong with devotion. I think devotion is very important, but it's about what you're devoted to. And being devoted to evil does not make it good simply because it's devotion. So anyways, I just felt like I needed to say that. I'll see you guys later.